Hey, it's Faux Sung Elizabeth Cookie. And welcome to the Faux Sung Elizabeth Cookie Show, now debuting episode 6. Yes, once again, Mistress and CEO Secretary of Goddesses Incorporated, the ultimate mascot dealing with anything in the female in the video game world, anime world, and Bisoujo Senshi. Now, today's episode is a very special episode. That's why there's no music in the background, because I want the world to hear what I have to say. Today's episode is called The Con Experience, Politics and Anime Conventions. Okay, now, once a year there are anime conventions that happen along the coast of the United States. Whichever side you're on, there's a convention that happens once a year, on the East Coast and on the West Coast. There are a few that happen on the West and a few that happen on the East. And the biggest ones that happen on the East is Otaku, Anime Next, Anime Weekend in Atlanta, and Anime Boston. Nevertheless, they all have some kind of jacked up politics that when you go there, you don't really fully have the greatest of the anime experience like we used to have back into the 80s and the early 90s. Now, times have changed. I remember when I used to go to an anime convention in the early 90s, there was excellent music. There was a humongous number of dealers in the dealer's room. In fact, you can actually, you couldn't even scour the whole place because that's how exciting it was. There were pleasant fans and pleasant otaku. And most importantly of all, the fans didn't overplay themselves with knowledge that they thought that they had, but they really didn't have. Now, why politics in the anime conventions? Well, first of all, for the last couple of years, I've been going to Anime Next. I think that if I look back on my times, I've been going there since, I believe, 2003. 2003. Now, every year they always look for fresh new ideas. This is dealing with panels, shows, and guest stars. Of course, you must always have your guest stars that come from Japan. But because we live so far off from Japan, most of them, when they do come in, they go in and they do conventions along the West Coast in California at Anime Expo. So they really don't want to travel an extra 7 to 8 hours across the United States to get to our state known as the Empire State. Go fit. I don't blame them. I really, really don't. So some of the politics that you may experience at an anime convention is the same judges at a karaoke panel. If you've seen the same 4 to 5 judges at an anime karaoke panel for the last 5 years, then you know something's up. You know that they have not decided to make a rotation in their staff, and they're recycling the people with the same old ideas over and over. For the last 4 to 5 years, the same people have been winning first, second, and third place at the anime karaoke at Anime Next. The same bureaucracy had happened over at Anime Boston. At one time, sometime in 2004, Anime Next had Anime Name That Tune. And my friend Juan, shout out to my friend Juan, won that panel. He was supposed to go and challenge for the finals over at Anime Boston. The person who was in charge of that panel never called him. In 2005, I was the one who also won the Anime Name That Tune panel at Anime Next. The person who was in charge of that panel never called me. So that way, I was never able to compete in the so-called finals at Anime Boston. Now, really, when you get down to nitty-gritty, who really has the power to make such an event and a competition that can stretch from Boston to New Jersey, from New Jersey to Atlanta, Georgia, without having the correct network contacts? You know, a lot of the conventions make these odd promises that they really don't keep their word. A good example of that is the so-called famous Anime Idol over there in the, on the West Coast. Anime Expo over there. They have 2 different types of karaoke events. They have one called Anime Idol and another one called the regular anime, karaoke competition. Now, Anime Idol is supposed to hook you up with a contract if you win that will send you over to Japan and have you potentially become an anime voice actor or a singer of sorts somewhere dealing with the anime world. Really, honestly, when you have people on the panel that are American voice actors for Japanese anime that have been heavily altered, and of course, they obviously don't have any kind of network contacts. I actually competed over there on the West Coast, and the lady who was the voice of Ash Ketchum in the American release of Pokemon, the horrible edited 4 kids version, she was actually one of the panelist judges. I remember her saying, wow, that was a beautiful song. I don't know what the hell you said, but it sounded good. I could feel it. So if you don't know what the hell the person said, why are you there as a fucking judge? The last time I had a good karaoke panel was in 2002, and that's when you had Big Apple Anime Fest with liaison manager Ryoko Hayabashibara. If I said it right, I'm sorry. Excuse me, Otaku and fans if I botched her name. Hayashibara. Thank you. She put all of that together for 2001, 2, and 3, and then she ended up quitting because she got a better job in Japan. I don't blame the bitch. I would have did the same thing too with the American politics dealing with the anime industry. They spend so much time worrying about how much money we can make, and that's the reason why we can't ever dub a good quality anime. 2 years ago, when Anime Expo actually came back here to New York State, at Jacob Javits. It was then renamed New York Anime Fest. I went to the one in 2008, but didn't make the one in 2009. But you best believe I will be there for 2010 because I'm doing a karaoke panel there too. I will be a judge. Oh yes, and I'm also doing anime Name That Tune. I'm the controller, so please come support. But anyway, from that tangent back to what I'm saying. I bought that anonymous golden ticket, which gives you a VIP ticket, a seat somewhere to see all the Japanese stars that will come for that year. Some of the questions that I asked between Japan and American standards of anime release and dub is, when the Americans dub an anime in English, do they see the original manuscript first in Japanese? Okay, oh my god, the person said no. The people from Central Park Media and Big Apple Anime Fest corporation that went down, thank God, thank you, they went down. Went down. Yes, they said no, we don't actually look at the anime before we decide to dub it. It's a waste of time because we're pressed for time, and so we need all the cash that we can make. And this is letting you know why the anime industry has been falling. We have that type of mentality making these conventions, then you start to understand why the conventions in today's time actually suck. It's very hard to do a panel these days when you have to go on a forum on a computer. Oh, right on the forum, write people, you write them, and guess what? The people in charge never call you the fuck back. A good person that never called me back, I believe his name is, oh yes, Carlo. Yeah, the infamous Carlo of Anime Next never calls people back when it comes down to panels. Yeah, what kind of business person are you? What school did you go to? Okay, and for you to be in a position of power like that, I think you need to get fucking fired. That's not the only convention that has done that. A lot of the East Coast conventions, Anime Boston, Anime Weekend in Atlanta, and KatsuCon, and all of them that say, if you want to do a panel, go write us online, So you write them the fuck online, and then they never reach you back. So then you try to look for a number, and then they give you a false number on purpose that leads to a fax machine. Yeah, okay. So what do we do about this problem? Hello, anime fans out there, anime otaku. What do we do about this problem? We need to come together. We need to start making our own conventions that are anime and fan-based. Remember the times of the 80s? Hello? When we used to get these dubbed videos from a copy, from another copy, of a friend's copy, of a copy that came overseas, from that copy, that came from another state of that copy, from a friend next door of that copy to us. By the time we got the shit, the quality was so fucked up, but we still watched it.